Hello, story enthusiasts, and welcome to another episode of Around the World in 40 Tales. My name is Doreen Vanderstoep, and I'm here today with the president of Storytelling Alberta, Katrina Muzaic. Welcome, Katrina.
Thank you for having me.
It is a delight to have you with us today. Thank you so much for all your good work for the organization as well.
No problem at all. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Well, it's wonderful to have you. And before we get to your story, which is a story from Syria, which is really cool that we get a story from Syria to add to our collection. But I just want to acknowledge that Storytelling Alberta operates on the traditional territories of the Indigenous signatories to Treaties 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10. We also walk in the footsteps of the people of the Métis Nation of Alberta and the Métis settlements. We make this declaration in the spirit of reconciliation and respect. Now, I just want to tell everybody a little bit more about you, Katrina. Katrina Muzaic is a storyteller, a library technician, and a dancer here in Calgary. Her storytelling journey began while studying library information technology at the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, which we all fondly call SAIT. After graduation, she carried on practicing her storytelling through performing at the Calgary Story Slam. She has also worked for the White Museum in Banff, where she developed a special interest in oral history. Later, she began volunteering with Storytelling Alberta in the Story Share program, and soon after became a teller with that project. And we're so proud to have you as a valued member of that project, Katrina. Katrina continues to experiment with her stories and in bringing connection to all audiences. Thank you, Katrina, so much. Your story tonight is called The Homesick Bride, I understand. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Right. And as I said, it is from Syria. And please go ahead and take it away.
Thank you so much. So my story begins a long, long time ago. There was a very lonely king. And this king wanted so badly to be married. He searched to the east and to the west and still could not find a bride. One day, him and his guards went hunting, and he decided to explore uncharted territory. And while there, he came across the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. And even though she was in rags, she enchanted him. This woman is my true love, he said to himself. So he followed her home to her cottage, walked in, and asked for her hand in marriage to her father. Very quickly, the father said, "Oh, of course, even though you just walked into my home and I don't know you very well, but you're a king, so why not? Of course, my daughter needs to marry a king." And the whole family was overjoyed, and the very next day, they were married. Months and months and months passed, and his wonderful, beautiful bride had everything she could ever ask for. Comfortable beds, feasts of food, but she was not happy. Every day, she would sit with the king, eating their breakfast, and she would say, "This food is nothing like my family's food, mazanas." The king rolled his eyes, very offended because, well, these are delicacies in the kingdom. How could she not love these delicacies? And whenever they would go to sleep, she would toss and turn. This bed is nowhere as comfortable as sleeping on the jaquila. Jaquila? What is that? The king thought. And she would complain and moan and talk about all the wonderful things in her cottage constantly. So finally, the king had enough. He took her, they went to the cottage and he said, show me what all these wonderful things that are so much better than my home. His wife lit up and she ran outside to where her mother was making fresh flatbread. And she grabbed the flatbread and picked fresh green onions from the garden and put them in the bread and rolled it up and took a big bite. This is a manzanas. Then she led the king to the jaquil. And the jaquil was just a rectangle flat stone. This is the jaquil. And this is where we sharpen our knives to butcher our sheep. This is where my family sleeps. Feel the stone. Feel how cold and soft the stone is. And the king felt it. And they frowned. You want to sleep on a stone and not in my bed? You know what? You're not the love of my life. So he packed his things and he left. And his wife smiled to herself thinking, oh, finally, oh, thank goodness. And she stayed home with her family, with her delicious masarana and sleeping on the cold, soft jaquil. And that is the end of my story.
That's fantastic. I love it. Sometimes home is just better than the best possible place imaginable on earth. I love that. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Katrina, for your story. That's
You're
wonderful.
welcome.
So if anybody wants to reach out to Katrina or any one of us at Storytelling Alberta, please contact us at info@storytellingalberta.com. And of course, check out all our story offerings for our 40th anniversary on our website, www.storytellingalberta.com. And you'll find that all under our 40th anniversary tab on our website. We have more around the world stories, and we also have our tribute tales. And please join us again next Thursday at 10 a.m. on our Facebook page when we will have another tale to tell. Thanks, Katrina.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.